So Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. My initial reaction, the first thing that I thought was Max Holloway's never winning a title. That was my first reaction. Because Max Holloway just moved up to lightweight, and now Ilia Topuria just follows him up. I was like, yo, I feel so bad for Max Holloway.
That's the first. Move to lightweight?
Yeah, Max Holloway moved up to lightweight.
Imagine just to fight Max. Max is ranked 5 as a lightweight. I went 6-0 in 2023.
I'm going to be on a Battle for the Bank episode one day, and I am going to prove to you that I am not a casual.
You thought Colby Covington was going to beat Leon Edwards.
Okay, and you've gotten literally the last 8 weeks of UFC predictions wrong.
Colby Covington?
8 weeks of UFC predictions wrong.
Bro, but Colby Covington.
I'm going to have to do the math. I think it might be more than 8 weeks. I think you're pulling up on 3 months of not winning 1 week. So congratulations, Elijah. You played yourself.
I'm going to win the belt back.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and on today's episode, I'm, as always, joined by Elijah. Somehow, he always finds his way to get back on the show. I think it is because the show is called the Hardcore and the Casual. I need a casual on the show to debate with. So, Elijah, how's your week been?
Pretty good, you?
Been doing good. Coming off of a nice card, Jared Cannonier versus RoboCop, Gregory Rodrigues. It was a fun card, and you screwed yourself. You literally played yourself. You wanted the Dontel Mays fight.
Yes.
If that Dontel Mays fight wasn't there, you would have won, because we ended up drawing. So, we drew. If you didn't pick the Dontel Mays fight to put on the predictions, you would have won, but instead, I retained because we drew.
Because of Dontel Mays?
Because of Dontel Mays. If you did not ask for the Dontel Mays fight, you would have been champ right now.
Wow.
So, I told you so. Dontel Mays is trash, and he got heel hooked by Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's brother, in about a minute. Just a minute. It just took him a minute. He just snatched the leg.
All right, put Dontel Mays against Anthony Smith.
Put Dontel Mays on the independent circuit. Put Dontel Mays in the LFA.
Oh, that's crazy.
Put Dontel.
That's
yo,
crazy.
He can main event in the. He can go to the Global Fighting League, the new league that brought in like Tony Ferguson and all the old timers that are now like putting on those fights, like Tyron Woodley and stuff. They brought in all those old guys.
Yeah.
The GFL would not even want Dontel Mays. That is how trash Dontel Mays is. They would not want him. So
did he at least have a good fight?
It was a minute. He got subbed in a minute. What do you mean it wasn't a good fight? It was a minute. There wasn't a fight. He just got grabbed and his ankle got grabbed and he tapped out. Like, come on, dude.
Oh, man.
It wasn't a good fight. It was Dontel Mays, okay? He did not belong in the UFC heavyweight rankings, and now Walter Walker takes his spot. But we are not only going to talk about the UFC from last week, this week. We are also going to predict for Cejudo versus Song Yadong as well at the end of this card. And afterwards, we are going to talk a little bit about the fights that have been announced.
Yeah.
Because I think I want to add a new section into this video, like a little, what do you call it? A segment into this video.
Yeah.
And it can just be that we just talk about something. Like we take a specific subject and we talk about it. So we could do, one day we could talk about just the flyweight division. One day we could talk about just the lightweight division.
I mean, it always ends up being talk about Alex Pereira.
I know, but I feel like this would keep us on track more than always devolving into talking about Alex Pereira. Because that's how we happen to every episode. I think that this might actually help. So we'll have a segment at the end of each episode, which is just, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. I don't know what the name of it is yet. I'll figure it out. So for today's episode, we'll talk about all of the announced video or all of the announced fights from the Dana White video that he posted the other day. Next week, I definitely want to talk a little bit about the flyweight division.
Yeah.
I have some very strong opinions about what's going on with the flyweight division right now. And then the lightweight division is always fun to talk about. So I think we need to squeeze in a lightweight division conversation soon. Yeah. But for today, reviewing Cannonier versus Rodrigues, predicting Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong, and then moving on to our segment at the end. So the prelims were fine for this card last week. Gabriel Bonfim ended up getting a victory over Chaos Williams. Other than that, there wasn't really much to talk about. So moving on to the main card, what we really predicted for Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petrosky. Andre Petrosky got the win. You picked Andre Petrosky. I thought after he headbutted that guy's hip and knocked himself out, like he got a victory after that, but I really didn't think he was going to be able to move up the rankings anymore. He got that. Beating Rodolfo Vieira is like beating a gatekeeper, basically. Like, you're on your way to the top 15 now.
Yeah.
So, really good win for Andre Petrosky. It was a decision. All of his fights have been decision. I don't know. I keep on ragging at the guys at the top, like Merab and Bilal, for just always decisioning people and never getting finishes.
Yeah.
And then I kind of let people slide when they're on their way up. How do you look at it? Do you think people should be finishing people on the way to the title, or do you think they should be finishing people when they actually are in the title fights?
They should be finishing people regardless.
All the time?
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it, okay, so think about George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
He went from being a finisher before he won the title. He used to finish people all the time. Then he won the welterweight title, and then he went on a streak of like 9 fights of decisions, winning by decision, 9 in a row. On the other hand, Kamaru Usman, he won like 8 decisions in a row, and then won the title, and then started finishing people. Yeah. Then he finished Colby, he finished Gilbert, he finished Masvidal. So I think it's more entertaining for the champions to actually go out there and perform like champions and finish people.
Yeah.
And I think it's less important when you're making your way to the title because you're trying to be safe. You're trying to get to that point. So you kind of got to be a little safer. Once you're champ, you're champ. Go all out, dude. Start finishing people. Start knocking people out. Start submitting people.
I feel like when you're champ, you're supposed to be showing the other person why you're champion. Like, even if you won the fight 4 rounds to 1, you finish it.
Yeah.
You finish that fight.
Exactly. And I mean, that's how Kamaru Usman was. And it's the exact opposite from George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre went from being a finisher, and then he started fighting more safe when he was champ. Exact opposite for Usman. Usman went from decision fighter to absolute top 5 finishers in the welterweight division.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I think that the champions should be finishing people, and people like Andre Petrosky should be winning decisions safely, making your way up the card. I give him a pass for that. All right, moving up. Lightweight fight, Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov.
Yeah.
This was another fight that you got right. Man, you should not have put that Walter Walker fight with Dontel Mays on this card. You would have had this title right now. You had this one right. Yeah, I thought Ismail Bonfim was looking really good. I mean, I don't know why he was on the main card. He's the brother with the worst record.
Yeah. And
Gabriel Bonfim has a better record, and he was on the prelims, and he actually got a win. Don't know why Ismail was on the main card, but he was. And Nazim, he got the TKO in the first round. So, I don't know, man. Ismail Bonfim has not shown anything impressive to me since he's been in the UFC. Like, he's gotten some... Like, he got that one win over... what's his name? Terrence McKinney.
Yeah.
He got like one finish over Terrence McKinney, and now everyone thinks he's like the shit. Honestly, I think Gabriel's better. Like, go turn your attention toward Gabriel because he's the one. Yeah, I mean, it was just another fight on a UFC fight night. Middleweight, Edmund Shabazian gets the TKO in the first round. He starched the wrestler. I don't know what there is to say. Like, literally, most of these fights were really quick. Like, these were all first round. Like, I don't know, man. There's really not much to talk about. He went out there and he proved why he was better. I mean, what else is there to say? Edmund Shabazian on his way back up took some hard losses, but most of his losses pretty much aged pretty well. I mean, give me 1 second. I'm going to look at Edmund Shabazian's record. So Edmund Shabazian's losses were to Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson, Nasruddin Imavov, Anthony Hernandez, and Gerald Meerschaert. The Gerald Meerschaert one, I mean, Gerald Meerschaert's a good grappler, so, I mean, you can I don't know, that one's a bad one. But, I mean, Anthony Hernandez is like number 12 in the division.
Yeah.
Nasruddin Mamavov is number 1 in the division. Jack Hermansson's like number 13. Derek Brunson was like number 8 before he was let go. These are all pretty good guys. So Edmund Shabazian might make his way back up. Don't know if he's going to win a title. He needs to work more on his grappling. But, I mean, he starched the wrestler this time. I mean, he didn't need to. He didn't need to stuff any takedowns. He got it done. All right. Next up, we had Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal in the snoozer of the night, dude. Yusuf Zalal was running the entire time, just jabbing him. Just ran away. Jab.
Sean Strickland.
Jab. No. Sean Strickland moved forward. Yusuf Zalal was moving backwards. Yusuf Zalal was like just walking backwards and then bop and then run and then bop and then run and then bop and then run. Like that was his whole game plan. And then finally in the third round, Calvin Kattar started to turn it up. Yeah. Finally, he started to put on some pressure. And he was doing good. He was landing.
Yeah.
Like, if you did that in the second round, you would have won the second and the third, and you would have won the fight.
Yeah.
Instead, Yusuf Zalal tapped him up from the outside for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And he won the first 2 rounds in a what am I trying to say? It wasn't a perfect performance. It was a shitty performance. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I don't know. I love Calvin Kattar, so I'm a little bit biased. Yusuf Zalal is cool. I mean, I thought he was a really cool fighter until I saw that. I guess he's just doing what I said, playing it safe, winning the decision.
Yeah.
I get it. I literally just talked about it. But I need to see a little bit more than just walking backwards and jabbing, because if you fight anyone with a little more aggression than Calvin Kattar, you're getting put unconscious. Yeah. Like, he had one good fight against ILIA, so I know that he is good. Like, he almost won the decision over ILIA, and now he just beat Calvin Kattar. He's good. He is good. I just don't know how long you're going to last just by jabbing from the outside.
Yeah.
Like, Sean Strickland at least pushes the pressure on people when he does that. Yeah, but, I mean, Yusuf Zalal versus, I don't know, like Arnold Allen or something. Might be a fun fight. I don't know. I have no clue. Just give him any of the featherweights at this point. I know he's going to get a ranked fight. He's in the rankings now, so.
Might as well.
Give him Bryce Mitchell. Give him Bryce. That'll be the battle of who can get booed louder in the arena. All right. Main event time. Talk about it. Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues. Man, I told you so.
What?
Jared Cannonier.
He won the fight?
Yeah, he won the fight. He got TKO. He got the TKO in the 4th round. He almost got knocked out in the 1st round.
Whoa.
Yeah, he got knocked down twice in the 1st round. And then guess what happened in the 2nd round?
What?
Gregory Rodrigues completely gassed out. Completely. He was gassed for the next 2 rounds, could not get anything going, and Jared Cannonier started to pick up the pace. Yeah. And he showed that maybe the Nasruddin Mamavov stoppage was too early.
Yeah.
Because if Jared Cannonier can take 2 knockdowns in the 1st round from Gregory Rodrigues, that Nasruddin Mamavov knockout of Jared Cannonier was way too early.
Yeah.
Jared could have kept fighting. He showed it in this fight. He looked really good. He started making Gregory Rodrigues' face bleed. He made him so bloody. I don't know, man. Gregory Rodrigues is cool. This was way too big of a jump for him. I get that he's the younger guy, 32, to Jared Cannonier's 40. It was way too big of a jump. He fought the number 6 guy in the world from being not ranked. He got knocked out by Diego Ferreira in like 3 fights ago.
Put Jared Cannonier for the title. Because, he...
that'd be a fun fight. Jared Cannonier versus DDP. Fun fight. I think that'd be a fun fight.
Decision with Strickland.
Yes.
And, I mean, Jared Cannonier, he can do it. I think he can do it.
I think he can beat DDP. I think he's one of the guys, other than Chimaev, obviously. I think he's one of the guys that can actually beat DDP if they fought. I think DDP probably smokes the rest of the middleweight division, like I don't know, Brendan Allen. He knocks Brendan Allen out cold. He probably beats Khalil Bahalio. He probably beats Nasruddin Mamavov. He probably beats, I don't know, throw another middleweight at me. He probably beats them too. I think Jared Cannonier and Chimaev are the 2 middleweights that can actually pose a problem to DDP.
Yeah.
Jared Cannonier has a chin for being 40 years old.
Yeah.
knocked down twice in the first round and then started picking up the pace.
He's a very smart fighter.
He is a very smart fighter and a very powerful fighter.
Tough.
He's tough. He's tough all around. I love Jared Cannonier. He's great.
And the good thing is he's quiet. He's like a quiet assassin.
Yeah. And he's got some cool, like, whatever this thing is. I like it.
I
like it. I don't know what it is. I like it.
The good thing about Jared Cannonier is, like, when you watch him fight, it's like it could end a decision, submission, or a TKO.
Yeah.
KO.
It could be any of those, or it could be getting put on his ass. Who knows? I don't know, but Jared Cannonier looking bright. Where do you think Jared Cannonier goes from here?
I think a title shot.
But Chimaev and Nasser Nimamavov, you got too much.
Nah, because you could look at the Amavov thing as like too early, and it's up to DDP too.
I don't know. I think Jared Cannonier needs a fight. So he just also lost to Khalil Bahalio in his last fight, and Nasser Nimamavov in the fight before that. So those two guys are already automatically ahead of them in the rankings. Do I think he gets the call if someone drops out? Yes. Like, if Chimaev can't make it, like, say they book the fight and then Chimaev drops out like 2 weeks before, I think Jared Cannonier would be one of those guys that would get the call.
Yeah.
Like, can you come fill in for Chimaev and fight DDP for the title?
Yeah.
Jared Cannonier would probably say yes.
Yeah.
If he could make the weight in 2 weeks. He's a big guy. With DDP, I don't know. I hate booking DDP fights. I have no clue what's going to happen. I hate predicting them. But, all right, I think it's time we move on to some predictions for next week's fights. It's a pretty stacked card. I mean, we've got Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong, Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez, Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. He's 16-0, so I guess he's good. Gene Silva versus, I've heard his name like 5 times. I've watched him fight. Still can't pronounce his name. Malzik Baghdasaryan. I don't know. And then Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. So, if you want to use the boards, you want to say it out loud, we can do either.
No, let's do the boards.
We use the boards?
Yeah.
And then, fuck it. We'll do Ian Kutalaba and Ibo Islan. Now that I know how to pronounce his name, it still looks like an I to me in this little graphic. Ibo Aslan. We'll do that one too. Okay. All right? So we've got 6 fights to predict. Yeah, fuck it. We'll keep it to those 6. All right, so first up we have Ian Kutalaba, the Hulk, versus Ibo Islan. So either IC or IA. 3, 2, 1. IA. Okay, we both have Ibo. All right. Next up, we have Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Have you seen the picture of Alonzo Menifield that's been going around?
No.
Apparently, he's put on a lot of weight. Like he's, or maybe not weight, but like he's lost all like muscle definition.
Yeah.
He must have not been training as much over these past couple of months, but ever since he lost to Carlos Ulberg, you remember when he got knocked out by Carlos Ulberg in like 2 seconds?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ever since then, I guess he just hasn't been training very much because he looks completely different than he used to. He used to be shredded out of his mind, like Khalil Roundtree kind of shredded. Yeah. Now he looks more like John Jones when he fought Cyril Gane. Yeah. So, I don't know. So, Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Maybe Alonzo Menifield actually does really good. I don't know. Julius Walker is only 6-0. Maybe Alonzo Menifield, taking that little break and not training as much, actually refreshed his body. Who knows? But for right now, 3, 2, 1. I'm going with Julius Walker. You're going with Alonzo Menifield. I don't like the visual of a guy seemingly not training as much. It makes me feel like they've got less motivation.
Right.
So I'm not going to predict a guy that I feel like has no motivation to win. All right, next up, Gene Silva, one of the fighting nerds, beat Drew Dober like 2 weeks after getting a win at featherweight. Cool guy, love the fighting nerds. I was critical on Gene Silva in the past. I've turned around. I like the fighting nerds. I like all of them. I'll root for Gene Silva versus Baghdasaryan. So either Gene Silva or MB. Gene Silva is 14-2. MB is 8-2. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you got MB? Okay, I got Gene Silva. I think Gene Silva's got this. I'm pretty sure his name is pronounced John Silva. I'm pretty sure that's how they've been pronouncing it, John Silva. It's spelled Gene, okay? I don't know how they pronounce it in Brazil. I'm sure in Portuguese it's pronounced differently. I'm sure it is pronounced John. It's spelled Gene. Like, I could see it. It's Jean. That's Gene. That is not John.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going nuts right now. But, okay, so John Silva, just so people can leave me alone. Next up, Rob Font versus, again, it's the same name. I hope it's pronounced Gene, but I'm sure it's pronounced John. Hold on, let's see. Is he from Brazil? Hold up. Gotta check the tape. Yep, he's from Brazil, so I'm assuming his name's John, too. Okay, so John Matsumoto. John Matsumoto. I assume his name is pronounced John, since the other guys, I don't know. Gene John Matsumoto versus Rob Font. Matsumoto is 16-0. Rob Font is 21-8. But I've seen Rob Font shut down some prospects before. This is a catchweight bout, too. I assume it's at 150. Or not 150, 140. Because it's short notice. It is short notice. Who was he supposed to fight originally? Dominic Cruz. Fuck it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you ready?
What?
Oh, Rob Font. So, RF or JM? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we both got Matsumoto. I like Rob Font. I hope he wins, but I got Gene. Or John. Whatever. All right. Co-main event time. Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. This is their second fight. Their first fight was not in the UFC. It was actually in the LFA. Mm-hmm. Anthony Hernandez won that fight. Since going to the UFC, Brendan Allen has shown a little more high level. Anthony Hernandez has the third most takedowns in the UFC's middleweight history. Second most takedowns behind Chris Weidman, actually. Brendan Allen, he's a dog. He's been doing great work. He lost to Nasruddin Imavov in a close fight in his last fight, who just starched Izzy, by the way. So maybe in retrospective, Brendan Allen's loss was actually better than we thought. I don't know. I can't get over the fact that Anthony Hernandez won the first fight. I think that Brendan Allen has picked up a lot more experience since then, and he's fought some high-level grapplers since then. Oh, man, I don't know. Because Brendan Allen is high-level grappling, but... Okay. So either BA or AH. Oh, man, this is my hardest one. Okay. 3, 2, 1. You got Brendan Allen, I got Anthony Hernandez. All right, if you say so. I mean, if you want to call it, go for it. You're going to look silly next week when this is wrapped around my neck for the 10th week in a row. All right, main event time. Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong. Who do we both have? You ready?
Oh, hold on. Wait.
Drawing a picture?
Gotta make sure it's super dramatic. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Triple C. We both got Triple C. How do you think Triple C wins this fight?
Decision.
Decision?
Decision.
You think he just grapples him the entire time and Song Yadong can't really do anything about it?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I think is going to happen too. I
don't know, because he did stumble Marab.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that he could. I don't think he should, though. I don't think he should get into boxing exchanges with Song Yadong. Song Yadong's got some pretty clean hands.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that he should go in there and try and strike with Song Yadong. I think the best route would be go and get the takedown.
Yeah.
But honestly, Song Yadong has shown some pretty good takedown defense. The only person I've seen take down Song Yadong has been Petr Yan, but Petr Yan has really fancy takedowns. Like, he doesn't just shoot takedowns. He does, like, really fancy shit that a lot of people haven't seen before, so they get stumbled by it. Like, Petr Yan has taken down literally everyone. Petr Yan has taken down Jose Aldo, but Merab couldn't. So that says something about Petr Yan and his offensive grappling. But, I mean, other than Petr Yan, I haven't seen anyone take down Song Yadong. So he might have really good takedown defense. Yeah. He might, but, I mean, Henry Cejudo, Olympic gold medalist, 2 weight division champion.
Hard to argue.
It's hard to argue against it. I mean, he hasn't won since he's retired. He came back, and his 2 fights have been against Aljamain and Merab, and he lost both of them. He hasn't won a fight since 2020.
He only did lose to the champions last.
That is fair. That is completely fair too. I think this is a really good fight for Triple C. I think he needed to take a fight like this. I think a lot of guys would do well for taking fights like this right now that are former champions and guys on the way up. I think a lot of guys need to start giving opportunities like this to younger guys. But just to shuffle them around, because I think a lot of guys, especially in the lightweight division, you guys have been stuck on that. Like, those lightweight guys have been stuck in that top echelon for a long time. Like, like, they give the occasional shot. Like, Gaethje gave a shot to Fiziev. Dustin Poirier gave a fight to Benoit Saint-Denis. But a lot of these guys just kind of sit on their ranking. I mean, like Oliveira, he's only really fought, like, top 5 guys since losing the title. He hasn't really given that, like, up-and-coming guy a shot, you know? I don't know, man. A lot of guys, I think Poirier should do that again or retire. I think one or the other. Either give someone a shot at taking your ranking or just retire and give it up.
I mean, Poirier is he's in a really weird spot, because it's like, okay, he gives the new guy a shot. New guy does good, knocks new guy out, comes up, puts up a good fight for the title. I think him sitting and waiting, especially with the news that's going on, that invites, I don't even know if I want to break it down into that.
Well, speaking about the news coming up, we can hop into our segment.
Yeah.
So, dude, what the hell is going on with the UFC right now? Jack Della Maddalena has been taken out of the fight with Leon Edwards. Sean Brady is now in against Leon Edwards. Jack Della Maddalena is now fighting Bilal Muhammad at UFC 315 in May.
Yes.
The co-main event to that is Alexa Grasso, or not Alexa Grasso. It is Valentina Shevchenko fighting Manon Fiorot, the fight that I wanted to see happen last week. And then if Valentina makes it through that, then she'll fight Weili. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
The winner should fight Weili no matter what, I feel like. And then also, we got announcements for UFC 314. All right, so we also have Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
That also means, because it's for the undisputed title, Ilia Topuria vacated his belt. Yep. How do you feel about that? What is next for Ilia Topuria?
I like that. He goes up to the division, and now this is what they can do. They can either give him Islam, or they give him Dustin Poirier. They give him whoever. Charles Oliveira. Beneil Dariush.
No. Why? So Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. My initial reaction, the first thing that I thought was Max Holloway's never winning a title. That was my first reaction. Because Max Holloway just moved up to lightweight, and now Ilia Topuria just follows him up. I was like, yo, I feel so bad for Max Holloway.
Did
That's
he
the first.
Move to lightweight?
Yeah, Max Holloway moved up to lightweight.
Imagine just to fight Max. Max was ranked 5 as a lightweight.
Yeah, exactly.
For the BMF title.
So I very much upset for my boy Max Holloway. I really thought he had a shot at doing some work in the lightweight division, but now that Ilya's there, I kind of feel like Max is just going to flounder in the top 5 for a long time. Very disappointed in that, because now he can't get away from it. I mean, what's he going to do? Move up to welterweight? because Volkanovski's now about to win the title back because I think he's going to beat Diego Lopez. So now Volkanovski's about to be at featherweight with 3 wins over Max as featherweight champ. Ilia Topuria just beat Max, and he'll be lightweight champ, or at least number 1 contender, number 2 contender.
Yeah.
Max Holloway's never going to get the fucking belt again. Dude, he's going to be stuck with the BMF title for the rest of his life. So that was my first thought. My second thought was, we're getting Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. Yeah. Like, I don't think that they're going to wait or do anything. I think Ilia Topuria will get the next shot at Islam. And I think that we're going to get Oliveira versus Arman, 2, 5 rounds. Just co-main event, 5 rounds, no title, obviously. And then the winner of Ilia versus Islam will fight the winner of Oliveira versus Arman.
Yeah.
I think that's really good booking. I think that works perfectly. And then you also have Dan Hooker, and you have Justin Gaethje, and then you've got Max and Dustin. Put Max and Dustin in there.
Yeah, as a rematch. Yeah,
yeah, it would be their for the BMF title. It's their 3rd fight. Dustin Poirier already has 2 wins over him, so give Max his 3rd shot at Dustin. Have him put up the BMF belt as kind of like a coercion to be like, yo,
an incentive, because it could be over like one of those fight nights. It could be a really good fight night.
And then the winner of Max versus Dustin fights the winner of Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, and then the winner of that fight will then go on to fight the winner of the Arman Oliveira Ilia Islam bracket. Like, it's one big bracket. You can make one big lightweight bracket. That's why I'm so excited about this lightweight division now. It's like the most, with Ilia Topuria now in this lightweight division, it is the most stacked roster of guys ever in the UFC's history. I think this blows out, like, Pride. Like, back in the day, Pride's light heavyweight division and, like, middleweight and heavyweight division, stacked. Yeah. Like, it was probably the best division in the entire world ever. Modern-day lightweight division blows it out of the water. Modern-day lightweight division also has Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett fighting each other. And you can say anything you want about Paddy Pimblett. The dude's a star at the end of the day. And now he's fighting Michael Chandler. If he gets that win, that lightweight division is stacked not only with the best talent in the world, but also the best stars. Yeah. Like, these guys are all superstars. And then if you throw Conor McGregor back in there at lightweight, have him come back in and move back down to lightweight, dude.
If Ilia Topuria calls out Conor McGregor.
Dude, I can see Conor getting a title fight like that. Ilia beats Islam and then calls out McGregor, and then McGregor's like, okay, I'll take the fight. I don't know, man. We'll see. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about? Because I think that we basically covered everything. I mean, Leon versus Sean, we didn't cover too much, but that's only a couple weeks from now. We'll obviously do our prediction video for that and everything, so we'll be talking about that soon.
This short boxing segment.
Go for it.
Canelo Alvarez has backed out his fight.
I'm surprised you said Canelo. I thought you were going to talk about Bivol versus Benavidez happening tomorrow. Isn't that happening tomorrow?
I don't know. I
think Bivol versus Benavidez 2 is happening tomorrow.
But Bivol versus Better Beef?
Yeah, whatever.
Be a Better Beef.
Whatever
that's going on. Canelo Alvarez has backed out his fight with Terrence Crawford to fight Jake Paul.
Oh, really? That's actually official now?
Yeah.
Man. Come on, dude. I just want to see Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. That's the fight to make. Man, why? Why is Jake Paul a thing? Why is he a thing? He's destroying boxing, honestly. I really think so. I mean, boxing was already on a bad trajectory. I think Jake Paul just put it on a worse trajectory.
The Saudis were going to max out Canelo's contract just to fight Terrence Crawford, just to make that fight happen.
It would have been a good fight, dude. I think Terrence Crawford wins that fight, too. I mean, I don't know. Canelo, he's always obviously been good, but I mean, he's kind of, I feel like, I just looked at his record the other day. I feel like he's kind of been fighting tomato cans recently. Like, he lost to Bivol, and he, like 3 fights before that, he had a draw with,
GGG.
With GGG. So, like, recently, I mean, he's kind of been a little wishy-washy. He had good fights against, like, Caleb Plant and, like, I don't know. Like, he's put on performances, but, like, even in his fight from last May,
he fought,
who did he fight? See, this is the problem with boxing. I don't
Edgar, it was like Edgar.
Whatever his name was.
Edgar, and then he fought
like
Mangua.
Like, he won, but he didn't, like, it wasn't impressive. It wasn't like he went out there and showed, like, I'm the best boxer in the world. Like, Canelo's, like, number 10 pound for pound right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even all that anymore. Terrence Crawford's number 1, isn't he? Or number 1 or 2 pound for pound fighters in the world?
Number 1.
Yeah. And then, like, Usyk's number 2, I think?
No, Usyk's, no. I think, yeah, Terrence first, then Usyk, then
that's what my
then
list
it's
would be.
Canelo. Then it's Canelo.
I don't know. I'd put Canelo a lot lower. Bivol just beat him like 2 years ago. What, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, he just beat him? Bivol's obviously above him, even though he just lost. They're having their rematch. I mean, like,
Canelo's having
both of them are
fights.
above Canelo.
Bro, he's just giving these younger guys a name in some close fights.
I don't know, man.
He knows he can beat these.
I want to see him. I want to see him beat the fuck out of Jake Paul. Don't get me wrong.
You know that?
Really?
By like 4 years.
Damn, Crawford's old.
It's 40.
That's crazy. He's Jared Cannonier of boxing. But honestly, I do want to see Canelo beat the fuck out of Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to see that. But
unscripted.
Yeah, obviously. Like, I want to see it actually happen. But also, I want to see Terrence Crawford versus Canelo. That'll be one that I'll actually we could do a live reaction to that one.
Wow.
Like, I'd be down to do a live reaction to Terrence Crawford versus we could do it for Jake Paul versus Canelo too. I mean, I don't give a fuck. But
here's the thing what I like about Terrence Crawford. When Terrence Crawford comes to fight, he comes to, like, put on a show.
Yeah.
Like, he's not coming for all that extra stuff. Like, no, like, he's coming to do his job.
Exactly. Also, you need to be on a live reaction one of these days, dude.
I do.
April 12th. Make sure you're off from work on April 12th. That's the Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, Michael Chandler, Patty Pimblett, Yair Rodriguez, Patrici, Pitbull. Like, that's that card. And that'll be my birthday weekend. So you got to call out and you got to come for that. I'm going to do a live reaction to that.
All right.
So you got to do it, dude. All right? All right. If that's all we got, I think that's all we got. Boxing segment. All right. Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. Check in next week. We're going to have a breakdown video for Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. And then we'll probably do predictions for the next one after that. I think the next one after that will be Pereira versus Ankalaev. I think. No, that's not 2 weeks from.
No, O'Malley versus
No, that's not.
Pantoja.
What do you mean? That's not happening. Talking about what's happening. Oh, Manel Kape versus Azu Almabayev. Yeah, I mean, we'll do predictions for that. Sure. But then after that, we'll do our reaction video for Manel Kape versus Azubayev, and then we will do our predictions for Ankalaev versus Pereira. And obviously, we'll do some kind of live reaction to that. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll do something for it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Elijah, for joining me. As always, it's always such a pleasure to talk to you. And peace. I've been your host, Justin, and peace out.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
God damn it. Like, share, and subscribe, please. You got to start saying, you know what? You do the outro for now on.
Right.
Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that beautiful stuff.
And check out the shorts.
Check out the Twitter. Check out the Instagram. Check out the Snap. We don't have a Snapchat. I don't even know. You do the fucking outro next time.